Hello, dear friends of the Aurora Veritatis channel. Today, we are going to delve into the fascinating story of Saint Louis Gonzaga, the patron saint of Catholic youth, who dedicated his life to the service of others and devotion to God. Have you ever stopped to think about how a 16th century noble youth gave up everything to follow his religious calling? Stay with us and discover how the faith and determination of Saint Louis Gonzaga continue to inspire generations to this day. Louis was born in 1568 in the province of Mantua, Italy, into a noble family. From a very young age, his life seemed to be destined to follow in the footsteps of his father, the Marquis Ferrante, who raised him among weapons and armor, hoping that he would become a great military leader. However, his mother, Marta Tana di Santina, planted in him the seeds of a deep Christian faith, teaching him to pray and trust in divine goodness. From an early age, Louis showed signs of a special vocation. At 5 years old, he still played as a warrior, but by 7, he was already kneeling to recite penitential psalms several times a day. At 10, he made a significant decision. He consecrated himself to Mary, just as she had consecrated herself to God. This devotion was sealed with the First Communion, which he received from the hands of St. Charles Borromeo, one of the great reformers of the Church. Even facing the fervent opposition of his father and the mockery of his relatives, Louis remained steadfast in his faith. He already had a clear path in mind. "I seek salvation, seek it yourselves too," he would say, challenging those who tried to divert him from his purpose. His father, in hopes of making his son change his mind, sent him to the Italian courts, but the experience only strengthened Louis's determination to follow his religious vocation. In 1585, at just 17 years old, Louis renounced his titles and inheritance in favor of his younger brother, Rudolph, and joined the Society of Jesus in Rome. There, he stood out for his fervor in faith and his practice of penance, soon being recognized as a true spiritual jewel among the Jesuits. However, the life of Saint Louis Gonzaga was brief. During his stay in Rome, the city was plagued by tragedies such as droughts, scarcity, and epidemics. True to the Jesuit motto, he did not hesitate to help the sick, forgetting his noble origins and the privileges of his health. He worked alongside Saint Camillus de Lellis, bringing comfort and care to those who needed it most. Unfortunately, it was during one of these missions that he contracted a fatal disease. At just 23 years old, Louis passed away in the arms of his Jesuit brothers. Saint Louis Gonzaga was canonized in 1726 by Pope Benedict XIII, who proclaimed him patron of youth. Later, he was named protector of students, and in 1991, Saint John Paul II designated him as the patron saint of AIDS patients. His relics are kept in the Church of Saint Ignatius in Rome, and he is venerated on the day of his death, June 21st. If you're enjoying this content and believe that the story of Saint Louis Gonzaga deserves to be more widely known, leave your like. This helps us reach more people with inspiring stories like this one. Don't forget to subscribe to the Aurora Veritatis channel for more inspiring stories of saints who transformed the world with their faith. Leave in the comments your opinion. What impressed you most about the life of Saint Louis Gonzaga? See you soon, and may God bless each and every one of you.